Morning, warm greetings from here. And we would like to start today with a drill from Madhavan, Bhaktada speaking.
एक सेकंड में मन की ड्रिल याद है हर एक सारे दिन में कितने बार ये ड्रिल करते हो ये नोट करो। ये मन की ड्रिल जितना बार करेंगे उतना ही सहज योगी सरल योगी बनेंगे। एक तरफ मनसा सेवा, दूसरे तरफ मनसा एक्सरसाइज। अभी निराकारी, अभी फरिश्ता। ब्रह्मा बाप आप फरिश्तों का आह्वान कर रहे हैं। फरिश्ता बन के ब्रह्मा बाप के साथ अपने कर्म निराकार रूप में चलना। फिर देवता बन जाना। अच्छा,
Welcome back. Some thoughts from yesterday. I like this, checking the meaning of Jeevanmukti, and what was new for me was freedom in the film. So the drama is happening, but like Baba was saying in the drill, you are first coming or being in the incorporeal, then the film is secondary. Freedom while in the film. This point that was made yesterday is first is confusion. We are mixed with the film. So first confusion and then the bondages, Jeevan Bandhan in Hindi. And that for ego, it's natural to be in bondage. That's his state. And that's why it doesn't appear obvious we're watching a film. And for the ego, it's the real world. It's where he is identified with. And then it was said, use very clear imagery, so you don't mix your life with the film. So that's why different words are used, like sometimes cardboard world or world of dolls. And that it's natural to be in Jeevanmukti. We're not trying to do something abnormal. But the obstacle is the ego trying to be. That's when it's not natural. Be happy to hear your reflections and churnings, thoughts, questions. Welcome back, and handing over to Prashant. Good morning.
Hello and welcome back. Thank you. It is a nice, quick summary. And since we have little time, we'll go to our program again. Again, a quick recap in a slightly different way. I'll use the board. And at some point, during our Sanjeevani sessions, we give the example of Mary acting in a drama as an elephant. And Karen is acting in a drama as a camel. So one is acting as a camel, one is acting as an elephant. And there is Prashant is acting as a dragon. So there is a drama that is going on. And Karen is acting as a camel. That is what is happening. So let us show this image. So there is one world of Karen, and there is another world, 10-minute performance of the camel and elephant drama. Then Karen is acting, people watch the drama, camel is praised, camel is so wonderful, but drama finishes. Elephant is not nice to camel, but drama finishes. There is no camel, there is no elephant. But Karen and Mary are enjoying their life before the drama, during the drama, after the drama. They are on the stage. They are so closely, connected with the part of camel and elephant. But at the same time, they're completely free. As we said, camel part itself finishes, and they are not affected the slightest. And people may criticize camel and people praise camel, but they are not caught into the passions and emotions. They know they are different. That is freedom. And that is Jeevanmukti. In a limited way, we get an example of what Jeevanmukti is. But it is possible, Karen can get into confusion and create a bondage. get into that spiral, and then completely forget that there is Karen even. And that camel has become her world. And that story of 10 minutes has become her life. If that was to happen, you will say this is, very serious. It is a breakdown. Our sense is not working here. And she needs attention, needs treatment. But if everyone was to be at the same level, they might think it is all normal. There's someone thinking she's camel, other person thinking she's elephant, and everyone is at the same level. No one sees it as abnormal. At present, our society is more like that. We all have gone into this spiral collectively, and this is like a big obstacle to us. Even though you may understand this, what is wrong and what is right, the moment you go out of here, everyone is treating you as a camel and as elephant. This is what is happening. And unless we address it, then we can't really come out. At least we have to understand this. This is what is happening. There is collective, spell. We all are pulling each other down in that camel elephant level. So seen from the spiritual perspective, how do you see this? We said this here is the story of invisible soul. Invisible soul is the invisible player. He has his complete life and his family and civilization. It is complete. His world is perfect, complete, beautiful, eternal. It is like a world of disbelief. It is a region of constant happiness. There is no reason for anything else. There is a region of love, of contentment, desireless, sorrowless, beyond harm forever. Such is their world of the Father and family. This is the universe. This is our universe. And this is everyone's universe. The story doesn't show us the universe. That is the story. The real universe is here. And that universe is positive, beautiful, and benevolent. Everything is good in an extraordinary level. But, what is this but? We have the option to see it upside down. This freedom everyone has got. Universe is positive, but everyone has option to create full ignorance in himself. Absolute, extreme ignorance. Like sometimes it can happen with children. Everything is going good for the child, but he can cry, because of his strange ideas, reason, get into, and nothing is good enough. He's breaking the toys. He can't even appreciate the toy he has got. Something like this. Things can go upside down. Here we go in that spiral, downward spiral, and then we are completely distorted. Our mind is distorted. Full bondage. But bondage is a symptom. Bondage has happened because there is confusion behind, because he himself is not in a position to come out. He doesn't even see it as a bondage. So this is the state. Bondage is created in the camel and elephant script. It is like a story. This is like a bizarre situation. There's camel and elephant story, and camel does something, dragon does something, and these Mary and Karen, they are in great sorrow. They are complaining about dragon, worrying about dragon. Why are they doing this? Because of confusion, because they have lost the clarity of who they are. And collectively, it has happened. An example is given to show that this is our story. We also saw yesterday, how do we come out of this? We have to create seconds, minutes of the new perspective, second minutes of clarity, second minutes of creating light. We give extreme value for this, minutes, seconds, give value, but in the right direction. Like if I sit in meditation and just a relaxation, listen to some music, that is not going to give us experience of freedom. There is, just like if there is an illness, you need the right medicine. So also here, you need the right medicine here. And medicine here is light. Karen need to understand here is a drama going on. This is a camel elephant drama. It is of 10 minutes and share the world beyond. She may forget it next minute, but right now let her remember this. And the moment she remembers this, she is as if going up the spiral. Every second, every minute is counted in this. Never underestimate that effort. Change is happening underneath. And as that happens, Paras gets refined, you are experienced, and that experience helps your clarity. This is important for us. Clarity, understanding is important. Experiences are important. Our world is subtle. Everything of ours is subtle. And that's why we need that Paras intellect. This world, camel, elephant, is gross. If you are acting in a drama, camel, mask of the camel, mask of the elephant will be very gross, cardboard. Actors will not be made of cardboard. In the same way, here, this world is gross compared to our world. Our world is subtle. We use the word alaukic, unearthly. That is nice. It also means spiritual. But so everything of ours is alaukic. Our family, father, self, treasures, everything is alaukic. But for Paras, that is obvious and vivid, totally normal. Just like for Karen, if she is sensible, it is so vivid. She got her parents, she got her home, and she's Karen, and this is a drama of 10 minutes. It is not a huge effort. It is so obvious. She's acting there for 10 minutes. Everyone just sees the camel. No one sees the actor. No problem. But she's 100% clear. She's different to camel. Same. If we practice this, invisible player understands he's so different to this camel here. Part of Prashant is like a camel in this drama for short time. It may be 10 minutes. It may be 10 years, but it is short time. And there is an exit. And that reality is completely different. You are just holding on to this clarity. That is a very important step in our freedom. 1 minute, you may lose it, but 1 minute. How do we overcome this collective spell? One factor we need to remember, that the herd, the sheep who are going in a herd, one sheep need to change the direction and the herd changes the direction. Know that here is a herd going on, and you now understand that you are part of this. The reason you are as if compelled to see in a certain way is because of the herd. That's okay. But now you are changing the direction of the herd. Know this. In every society, there are conviction leaders. They don't need to be the elected members, but they set a trend. Here you start the process. Yesterday we said, one bird flies, second bird flies, the whole flock flies. So here you fly. Know that you don't need to stay with the herd. You have to change. And when you take that position, you yourselves become free from this collective spell. And that is necessary. Anything you want to add? Any comments? Also encouragement for more of us here to come in the camera and light. Since we want light, it is chance for us to interact, becomes more interactive.
So, a question that came. There is a lot more bad news than before, and it's not so easy to watch these events in the world as scenes in a drama or a film sometimes, and sometimes sorrow is felt. Does it mean we could have been in that same position in the past, and we feel sorrow even despite Gyan and remembrance? Or is it that we have an attachment to certain principles or justice?
Yeah, very, very clever. The observation is very good. If we were 100% soul conscious, we won't be affected. Just as if I'm watching Tom and Jerry cartoon, they are beaten up and they are thrown out and they come in, flattened up, many things are going on. They become small, they become big. You don't take sorrow because you don't identify with it. And if you are watching some other films, you might identify because you feel as if that could be me, this kind of feeling. And then you take sorrow. Some other scene you don't identify. There may be more sorrow going on there, but you don't identify. And there was a tsunami, lots of people identified. There's so much charity because they saw on the film holiday places that were, knocked out by the tsunami waves, and they have been to those places on holidays. So they can see it could have been me. And there was the feelings of charity. But many other places there is hunger and people are dying same year, same time, but they didn't feel the same feelings towards them because they did not identify with it. So this phenomena is based upon what each one identifies with and feels it could have been me. That is the feeling that comes. More we become soul conscious, we are objective. It is not me or my clan, that kind of mercy for that. And some other animals, there is no mercy. Some animals, no mercy. Some animals, there is huge mercy. this happens, that contradiction happens because of our confusion. More we are soul conscious, then you are having true love, true mercy for the real, at the real level. That is, real level is in the real world. You have mercy for the souls, all souls, and they need to become conscious. And you are seeing the physical world more from that position. There is feeling of love and you are, respect, and that will remain. Noble personality will remain. But when it comes to the drama, physical drama, and within it there is Prashant also. And as we said, Prashant will disappear sometimes. There is no reason for sorrow because that is a drama. You are seeing it as a neutral position.
It's a very good example of the Southeast Asian tsunami. There was flooding not long after in a different part of the world, and the relief aid was not nearly the same because the countries which were donating did not identify. So very helpful. And any other questions or thoughts, feel free. Nothing else from here at this stage.
Sure. Yesterday I promised we used the word, we have created bondages. And the question was, what kind of bondages we create? When does it become a bondage? So let us take an example. And here is a person. Here is a person, and there are two people. You see another person on the street. You are free. That person is there. Person turns left. Person turns right. Person disappears. Person reappears. You are watching it. You can say you are free. That person uses blue hat. That green, it becomes green. Sure, no problem. You are free. You are the observer. You just need to create a desire, expectation, and now you are in a bondage. You create an expectation that he will stay there for next minute. You create an expectation. He promised you he will use a blue hat, so he will be dressed in a blue hat. He promised. Because he promised, you create an expectation. Whatever the reason, but you create an expectation. You are in bondage. The moment you create any kind of desire, you are in bondage. That is one level. Why do we call it the bondage? Because it affects you now. He doesn't come with a blue hat. He doesn't turn left. He doesn't do things. And he does cough sometimes, does something which you feel he should not be doing this. And so you are affected. Anytime you are affected means there is a rope. You are not free. You are tied there. Also, we understand there was a time you were free. We give the example. First starting position is you are free. Only after creating expectation, you are in bondage. Next level, what is the next level of bondage we create? You want to give another example of bondage? Deeper bondage.
Claiming something as mine.
Yes, very good. I start
Emotional.
to say this person is mine. In some form, he promises to marry you, and then that may be going on, or he's married to you, so it is mine, or that person is born in the family, whatever reason, you are saying this person is mine. Now it becomes a bondage because this person may die that person may go somewhere and I have lost. So feeling of loss will come now. It is another bondage. Where we are asking this question right our very first day. Can anything in a story ever be mine? Can this eternal traveler ever make this belief that he owns anything there? Here we are talking about individual, but it could be an object, can be ideas, anything, things of the story. Can anything be mine? And we say nothing there can be mine. What about talent? You may have a talent, you may have something, and that at least is mine. You are very good singer, so it is yours talent. It is not someone else's. What do you think? Can we use the word "my" to something? We say that is talent. So on what grounds you say talent is not mine? Okay, I agree. The atoms and molecules there is not mine. And body is not mine, I agreed. But there are some talents. Someone can write, compose songs. It is a talent. Someone is a great scientist. He got a talent.
I think it's confusing because it appears to be part of the personality, and that can get blurred. In the chat, talents are given by God, are they not? Or are they not entrusted?
Yes, very good. These things, whether it's a talent to sing or to use computers, talent to invent, some vaccine, these talents are not required in our home. So these are the things of this world, camel and elephant world. They are required there. So we use things over here, just like you go to some place and you play with some what is over there. If there are bricks, you are playing with the bricks. You don't need those bricks at home. At home, your life is different. So here you are into this world, this blue box, amazing box. It is very nice. At that level, there is matter, and at that level, there is songs. At that level, there is play. You are using things. You are using talents over there. As if you are using them on trust. Just as you are using the body temporarily over there, so also you're using the talents. They can go during lifetime, leave aside at the time of death. They can, someone may be a singer at one time. He may not get prizes after a while. And he may not be able to sing after a while. Same thing happens. Great scientist, then there's burnout. They don't remain the great scientist after a while. So these are talents. You are a trustee of this. That attitude is healthy. So person has the attitude, he is at most a trustee. Not one atom there is mine. No one in the story can ever be mine. The total, if we are playing with this attitude, for 1 minute play with this attitude, what it means, that soul, literally he sees himself as a point. This is a good practice, just a point. And he doesn't own one atom in that story, nothing in that story. That's why he can lose nothing. He can lose no one. And there is that joy of the freedom, instantly. When you are free, it is guaranteed then that same second you will experience the joy. There is no burden during that. So the word my is a word to check if you want to be free. Third level of bondage is when we start to create a I, create a ego based upon things in the story. That camel has become not just my camel, it has become a I. Who is saying? Karen. Karen is saying that this is my camel to start with, and then identify with it. Ego. It is a deeper bondage. And another bondage to check, and very relevant for us, is bondages we create through the senses. Unless these are all resolved, we can't experience Jeevanmukti. What is this bondage through the senses? This box that we show, this box is full of lots of goodies there. Just like we said, there is a camel there, and there is a lots of hay around camel, and there is glitter and gold, lots of things, lots of it is full of goodies. And Ravan's heads, they are trapped in this with different things. One head of Ravan creates attachment to the dog, creates ego, but attachment. Another head of Ravan is caught with his music. I'm such a great musician. Another head of Ravan is trapped with another person. One head of Ravan is trapped in lust somewhere. Ravan is this. Ravan is a creature who is indulgent in that degradation. In the story, is indulging in that story in different ways. But some heads of Ravan are caught with sense objects. It can be food, item of food. The Ravan wants, he says, I like this, let me take a little bit more. One with different things in food. It is one head may be caught with sugar, another head is caught with something else, different flavors, different smell, the spice. One head is caught with some music, sound. It is trapped. He gradually gets drawn into it, becomes dependent on it, and bondage is created there. And the eyes, visual, it is a huge area. To get impressed with things with the eyes, images and colors, and these senses are meant to give us information. But when we cross the line, when Ravan is in the equation, Ravan is indulgent. Ravan is bhogi. Ravan sees it as a means of his pleasures. But that becomes a bondage. He gets trapped with sense objects. And this is not realized. Some other bondages we may realize, what we saw, in relationships, you take sorrow and all this, we may realize. But these are another level of bondages. Just as one person may be an addict, addicted to drug or smoking. Who is addicted? There is a Ravan's head there inside. Within the invisible traveler, he creates a bondage to that drug. And if it is not there, he discovers some sorrow. Even the feeling of missing something, At any time, if there is a feeling of missing, lacking, losing, and needing, these are the signs that there are bondages. A traveler, there is a story there, world of dolls. And the world of dolls, it is not my world. The invisible traveler knows that is not his world. He doesn't need anything from there. He's not going to lose anything from there. He is not going to lack anything. If he is feeling that, it means he has created a bondage. Bondage with people, position, possessions, and pasta. So different things he is getting trapped with in that box. And all of this need to be dismantled if we want to be free. Method is the same. This is like we get a broad idea what we need to check. Method is the same. We'll come to the method again, revisit that, but any comments? Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I've got a couple of questions. So is it possible to get attached to illness and sorrow and sadness itself as different heads of Ravan?
No, we don't use the word attachment to that. Attachment we use when we get caught in these things of this temporary world for different reasons. But once we get trapped in it, then the sorrow comes, then the pain comes. That is the result of the bondage, rather than we create bondage to pain. No one normally creates bondage to pain.
Yes, so that happens as a secondary thing. Maybe could you say it could be an addiction of Ravan because he stays alive because of the confusion? So Ravan would rather be alive and be unhappy than not be alive.
Yeah, but the bottom line to know that each and every soul, no one will go to attend a program that teaches you how to get depressed. So people want to be free from sorrow. Animal, human beings, we want to be free from sorrow.
Thank you. Would you consider the beauty of nature to potentially become a bondage?
Beauty of nature, it can be. One is there is a nature, and nature is very, very rich. But one who is Jeevanmukti, he knows the real nature. He knows the real world. And because he knows the real world, he never is truly slave to anything within that artificial world. Just like if you are watching a cartoon and there is a beautiful nature shown within that cartoon, Tom and Jerry's, you are quite appreciative of that. There is nice background to the Mickey Mouse, but you don't get into the bondage. But if someone gets into the bondage, it means something is wrong. Same here. The invisible prince who is conscious, he knows of his supreme reality. He knows that nature. So he never comes here in the green, in the blue box with emptiness. He never comes there as a beggar. So he knows everything very nice, but doesn't get into the bondage. But if he comes with emptiness, then he can get trapped with something. He will get impressed with some nature, ocean, water, something. But that becomes the start of other bondages. Once he has crossed a line, then other heads of Ravan will come in.
I feel like you can see it at the coast because the beauty of the sea and you appreciate, but then cross the line and there's all of the other pleasures for Ravan right there with the playground and gambling. It's like as if hijacked that energy. Other question, if it's okay. What if we get attached to a baby? If you're a mother,
Sure.
what to do if we get attached to a
Yeah.
child?
One is the love. And love is very natural, and the nature of the soul is love. We love all life. The soul that is conscious, he loves everyone. Okay, and then why do we cross the line further? The tendency is to cross the line when we are into this. There is some confusion, then there is a tendency to cross the line. It can be to anyone, human being or animal or puppy or a baby. We are vulnerable, and if there is anyone who gives you some security, then we run after that. They can give you security by praising you or giving you gifts or some kind of favors. Then you feel here is some security of some kind. But baby feeds the identity in the mother, or there is an identity there of me being the mother. It may be coming from the past life also, and that identity was there a bit dormant, and suddenly this baby arrives, and this identity is now alive because someone really is seeing you as a mother, and this identity feels so wonderful, so grateful to that baby. Bottom line, when we have crossed a line, we are selfish in some level, and this identity latches on, depends. The attachment means you are depending, very dependent upon the baby. So much so that, say, for some reason, it may be good for the baby to be with grandparents, say, and but this identity will say, no way, it has to be with me, because if that baby is not there, this identity dies. We don't think of the other person. Identity is ego, is just thinking about ego. Ego is not thinking of the baby. But as was said, if this identity is not there, then from that soul awareness, that's full love. Love is there. And love is what we need to encourage. We are not against that. Baby needs love. And so the soul loves the baby, but there is no dependency.
Yeah, thank you. Just a couple of questions came up with the point about nature. Is it okay to appreciate the beauty of nature as a gift otherwise?
Yeah, as was said, appreciate it from the fullness. Let the soul appreciate this. If you approach all the different life situations from soul awareness, then you are safe. Baba calls it then karma yoga. So we are dealing with this world. We can't escape being in the world of nature or being in the world of nice people and nice objects. We can't run away from this. But let the prince, invisible prince, come in this world. And the prince is internally full. He is not a beggar. So he never gets impressed with anything, anyone. If that state is not there, attention is not there on the soul, then you approach it with inner emptiness of some kind. Ravan is forever a beggar. He comes in that box thinking, what can I get here? What is there for me? That is the reason he goes, Ravan. And then whether it is nature or whether it is some cake or whether it is someone, he will find something where he gets trapped because he's internally empty. Since our aim is to become free, we already have created these bondages in the past. Now our process is coming out. We need to be extra cautious in this front to be in this world, but let the soul, the one who is conscious, and interact with this. So that's why he is there, but he remains free.
Yeah. Is a bondage to nature or anything drama based? Is it when we don't want to leave this drama or cartoon, even when the show is over? Is that what a bondage is? Like the drama finishes and we don't want to leave?
Yeah, as was said here, if you feel you are losing something, that means there was a bondage. You thought that, it has to be with you in some form.
2 more questions. Are restrictions effective to conquer Ravan? Because it seems that can also come from Ravan, and then it's not love-based.
Restrictions on the self?
Restrictions or disciplines on
Sure.
Ravan.
Yeah. Ravan needs, we need to, just like, someone wild, can be a robber even. He needs to be restrained. And if you are able to restrain him even a little by force, it is better than just let him loose. He creates more damage. And if the police come, they will restrain him even more. Maybe in time he can be explained what is right, wrong, and he may himself stop behaving like that. This is our behavior with robber. Here we are dealing with the demon. So any kind of method that restrains him, maybe use it. It becomes smaller, and then your knowledge and sense, and that might work afterwards. So all the 10 heads need to be restrained by whatever method.
Then in that brings more opportunity for clarity. If there is helplessness and pain as a child, to survive, the child may get attached to pain as a way to know it is surviving, or the way to survive, as the child never learned how to let go and to feel safe and okay. It never had a higher power to let go. So there's a question in that. I'm not sure if you catch it, but
Yeah.
does
That, that may be some identity, these are rare situations, but some identity, if some identities are complex. We may latch on to something to get attention, poor me, I'm a victim, this kind of thing. But these are rare situations and individual cases.
Yeah, okay. And what would be the difference between Ravan and Maya, if any?
Sure. Baba uses these words synonymously. But in our story, when you have done the Sanjeevani, you will, those who have not heard the Sanjeevani, there are recordings of it. We saw Ravan as the 10-headed monster, these different identities that we discussed. I that we saw, these are the 10 heads of Ravan we saw. And Maya, we used the word Maya in that story as the cleverness that is there to defend Ravan. So in different ways, the Maya works. It is like a bit intelligence of Ravan. But that story will clarify more.
Thank you. There aren't any other questions right now.
Yeah, sure. So we are seeing here that whole of our journey to be free depends on the soul becoming conscious. We have understood how the bondages are created. Different ways we create bondages, confusion supports all this. The answer for this is soul awareness. And then we need to get into this little homework, in our program, to get accuracy and refinement in this. The word soul gets used, but we, as mentioned yesterday, ego-based effort is very common. Why? Because ego is very stubborn. Ego wants to survive. And since you are making spiritual effort, ego will try to get in. It will definitely come in, but if you are to observe, then you can come out of this. So let us create some opportunities now. First, we will just create a simple program just for a few minutes. And during this few minutes, we are just paying attention to the soul. And during these minutes, we are seeing the body as a car. And soul as a driver. And here is a driver. And this driver is seated in this body behind the windows. The eyes are like the windows. So we practice this with eyes open. So there are eyes and there are windows, and there is the driver seated behind these windows. We all definitely practice this during this minute. So there is attention now on the driver in the image of a tiny point. Very this moment. And this driver is seeing the images and colors around. This moment. In the past, there would be just attention on outside. Now there is attention on the driver also. And driver is in the image of a tiny point, seated behind his eyes. And he's the one who makes sense of the images and the colors. He's the one who makes sense of the sound and makes sense of the sensations from the body. All along, we experience the presence of this driver seated behind the eyes, paying attention to his existence. This driver is the one who makes sense of this knowledge, our discussion. Who is trying to understand this? Who wants to understand? It is the driver. This attention to him will help him to become more conscious. When he is not conscious, ego becomes conscious. And when ego is conscious, ego sees the body itself as the driver. Ego is always projected on something. So ego is around the body, and it says body itself is everything. So now we are paying attention to this driver just for 1 minute. We have introduced this awareness. There is the driver, so different, the tiny point seated behind his eyes. This second, and he's experiencing colors and sensations and sound. This driver is a guest in the body. Any driver is always a guest in the car. Driver is never a part of the car. So also this driver is a guest in the body. That's why he is very secure in himself. He knows he belongs to a different world. Criticism of the car is not a criticism of the driver. Even absence of the car is not the absence of the driver. Just aware of the beautiful truth of this invisible driver. For this invisible driver, this whole experience of the car and the body and the experience is a gift. Because he knows of his bigger world. For him, this whole experience is extra. extra gift. Thank you. As was said, this is like something very, very simple we can introduce. It all adds up. You approach from different angle. One practice helps you, the other practices, they all complement. And this is good for you. This is very simple, and for your other students also. We'll come to the next practice, but you want to add anything? Say anything.
Just appreciation, very helpful. Nothing to add.
Sure. Now, in our this practice, this is like a very important practice, something we can continue through the rest few weeks. In this, we go for the best, and that is the best intellect. We said paras, that includes far-reaching intellect, broad intellect, subtle intellect. Even God is called Parasnath. God is the one who uses this best intellect. So we can't go wrong if we use it. Then we have the option to go for 100%. If we are using paras, there is nothing to stop us from using 100%. So right now we understand the physical world for what it is. It's a story, it's fiction, it is temporary. Theater, drama. And we also mentioned yesterday, soap opera is a drama, and World of Dolls is also a drama. It creates a huge contrast and helps us. When we see as a soap opera, it may not create a huge contrast. But when we see it as a World of Dolls, it becomes absurd to get into the bondage with it. And we also see it as temporary, very short. And the episodes are to finish. They finish in front of our eyes. So it is, we see clearly this world for what it is. Paras helps us to see the world beyond the theater. And beyond is the world of silence and expanse of light. But this is also the home of the family of souls. They all are like tiny stars. They are immortal. This world is auspicious because everyone in this world are noble. They all are immortal without needing anything. And they all are beyond harm. Nothing in the three worlds can harm them, even the slightest. All and always. That's why all are auspicious. That is, dimension is auspicious. No vibration of desire, no vibration of disappointment. We can say this is a family of divine royals. All we have done is use the best intellect, and we are just seeing what already exists. This is the home of the family and the father. All are in the image of tiny stars, and that appears totally normal. Father is the one who is Parasnath, always Paras. Wisest. He knows this big map in an obvious way, always aware of it. He knows of his own immortality. He knows that everyone is like him and everyone belongs to him. That all are immensely lovely and loving. Lovely, loving, and lucky. He knows the physical world very clearly for what it is, knows the independence of the physical world from everyone. Just like any stories are separate. He knows that here is a family and the father, and their world is separate. We realize we all are lucky, all are lucky. This alokik environment helps the true self to become conscious. The true self, conscious, when he becomes conscious, for him, it is normal to be like a point. It is normal to be immortal. Normal to belong to God and to be worthy to be loved by God. Normal not to need anything from the story. That freedom and Jeevanmukti is so obvious for the soul that is conscious. It is normal for him to know that everyone is lovely and worthy of love, that all are childlike, harmless, innocent, clean. Such is the family, all and always. He understands this is like the biggest prize anyone can win. On one hand, here is the region of truth. He's not dealing with the story. This is the real world. But here is life with the God, life with the divine royals. True royals are here. Because in the story, these are stunts. Here is the true royalty and eternal royalty and divine royals. True treasures are here. This is a region of silent joy. Everyone is good, everything is good. That's why silent joy, region of everyone worthy of love, but silent celebration. They feel their region is perfect and the universe is positive. Nothing inauspicious. The invisible player, one who is conscious, he doesn't see this as a meditation experience. This is his world and this is his life. He is aware at a distance there is the story, ongoing story, and there is a script. And he is aware of his independence, just freedom from the story. He is happy to go in the story, visit the story, but he visits the story as a invisible incarnate. He goes there with a very, very clear mission. And what mission? He goes there to reach his invisible brothers. He has no compulsion to go in the story, or he has no needs of any kind in the story. That cardboard world has got nothing to offer to him. He first gets this right, reminds himself of this, and then visits that world as an invisible incarnate. Invisible player is the invisible incarnate. He is the invisible prince. Remains the invisible prince. Thank you. I know it is time for rooms and discussion.
Yes, we'll have a poll now, and whilst you're doing that, maybe Prashant, you'd like to just create a question for discussion, and while the poll is going on, we can also reflect on that while we're waiting. Would you like to suggest a question?
Yeah, sure. What are the practices? What is our method to become free?
Or are there methods, different methods?
What are we going to start with?
The question is in the chat, and we'll just also launch a poll so you can, if you're a co-host, I don't think you can do it, and you can just leave it, that's fine. If you are not able to answer, you can always type in the chat. And meanwhile, reflect a room question if you've finished. And maybe translators can translate the questions. I think if you're a co-host, you won't see the questions. Okay. So first, how many Sanjeevani sessions have you listened to live or recording? Second, and the first is all 10 sessions between 7 to 9 and neither of the above. We may a few seconds. Just sharing the results on the screen. So we have another quick poll for you. For translators, one question: do you regularly attend morning class? First is yes, and second is no. Maybe another few seconds. Only half of you have managed. I don't know. You're not seeing it or? Okay. Just sharing the results so everyone can see, hopefully. Thank you very much. And we will create time for rooms, and you're able to change rooms if you need to. And feel free to put the hand up if you're in the wrong room for your language and you can't change. See you soon and enjoy. Thank you. We're back. Nice to see you all. See all the faces. Incognito presence. It's really beautiful to join some discussions. So let's go into that silent shared space before we continue for just a minute. you. Yes, the real family portrait. It's true. Today there was this discussion about the collective spell, and that we are in this mindset that the camel or an elephant world is our world. Then it was said that the actual life universe is not the story, it is beyond, and that is positive. And it's only confusion that we take sorrow from this performance. And the actors are subtle. It is the costume, camel and elephant costume, that is gross. So we need to train. And being a conviction leader, the way to overcome the collective spell. That's why often it's talked about the word nishti, like in English, conviction. And that when we don't identify, then there is no sorrow. So that helps actually in an unlimited way. And then there were the different types of bondages, starting off with, don't know if you remember, what was the first kind that was discussed? There were a few. It was first expectations, then my and mine, and then third was identity, and then it was about senses. And that we can tell because the missing, lacking, losing, needing are signs that there are bondages. So the method to come out is the same. And the ego is stubborn, and I really enjoyed the practice of driver in the car, and I felt that it was very good for concentration. So really happy to hear your thoughts, and meanwhile, handing back to Prashant. Thank you.
Hello and welcome back. And the subject is Jeevanmukti. It appears, that it is a very high goal, and it is for few. But the nature's law is such that everyone has to achieve freedom. We can't dangle in the story forever. Which means, if you are watching, say, war film or any film you are watching, and in the film, different plots come, different situations come. At one time, there is a, some family scene. Another time, there is a war scene. There are fires. You watch it, and you are in a second free to turn it off, go home, do something else. Mind is free, even as you are watching fire, and when you are watching war and destruction. What is expected of us is that level of freedom with this film. We are watching this film here. And in this film, at one time there is a celebration, one time there is Christmas, another time there will be fire also, another time there will be war, flood, whatever. That is the way the episodes are. What is expected of us is 100% freedom. And these fires and destructions, Prashant will also be part of it. And invisible soul need to be 100% free. And the message for all of us is become free before pain. And that is why the the value of spiritual knowledge and method and our involvement and our practice, so that we learn before pain. We have to change the posture. If there is any wrong posture, it will bring pain. Change the posture in a sensible way and help others become. If you love anyone, then the sign of love is here. Help them come out of the wrong posture before pain. Because the nature, confluence age is meant for these two things. It brings knowledge, wisdom, and the method, but it also brings pain, because there's time for everyone to reset, go to their own truth. Anything that is false cannot stay forever. So things are going to change, and it is going to change at some point. Confluence is the time for change. So now that we know this, it will be shame to still learn with pain in any form. Baba's words, learn with pyar. Pyar is love, rather than mar. Mar is, sorrow in some form, being beaten up. So here we have the option, and every minute you are playing with it, that is adding up. So from now onwards, say for next 24 hours, different situations will come to us. Life is like this. Some situations are come, something goes, everything just right. Sometimes everything goes wrong. Different situations come, through the body also, through people also. And internally use these opportunities to remain that invisible incarnate. See the perspective from beyond. If you are not paying to that attention to this, then you will be right in. You are a part of the camel and elephant, and it will affect you. Praise will also affect you, and criticism will also affect you. You are completely unconscious. The prince is unconscious then, and that is a shame. Opportunity lost. So when you stay in that space, then you are observing this, and you are also fine-tuning. That is our effort. Take opportunities as situations come. We don't say drama should be all perfect. That is what Shudras say. Ravan is here for indulgence. So he says, please feed me. That is Ravan's slogan. Our message is, drama can come as it wants. We are not beggars in this story. And fires can come, and destruction can come as it comes. An invisible prince has come here to give, incarnate. And so, his position is in this story, is anything affects him. That is the area attention is required. So he uses the situation for his progress. And as we said, anything is anything. There can be injustice and unfairness, and in the drama there are jokers, there are villains, there are robbers, all kinds of things. Drama becomes rich drama when there are all these different characters. Drama becomes rich. Invisible player is not saying there shouldn't be robbers or there shouldn't be a dragon. He doesn't say that. Drama is perfect drama also. All that's required is remaining free. And these are opportunities helping me become free. Yeah, that's nice. We will also create some time for practice again. Then we finish with that. But also let us hear any thoughts, any comments.
Yeah, just 3-4 questions just on what you shared. What is your main sharing from today's reading? It sounds kind of connected to what you just said. There's no subservience in the story, but would you like to maybe say what was your sharing from the reading this morning, or your main point from today's Murli?
Sure. The word self-sovereign that is used, and only the invisible soul who is conscious, he is self-sovereign. He is, as was said, there are many things are happening in the drama, but he can put a full stop. There is you are watching a story, we are watching some film, James Bond film, and fires, but next minute your mind, you may have to pay attention to something else. You are free. You are not keep thinking about James Bond, why he did this and why there is fire. You are not thinking of this. Mind is free. Invisible Prince sees this world as a drama, no different to James Bond drama, without any expectations and without any demands. That is why he can put a full stop. Baba used the word, you apply a brake, and let it not be that you start now and car stops after 1 minute. It should stop there when you apply a brake. So here also, you apply a brake, it should stop. But if you are in a fast speed, it may not be easy to stop. First, you have to be in a slower speed, then only you can stop. So when this drama is made small, everything small, nothing is intense, and you have no intention to make it intense. Don't get into some relationships and don't think that this is a big treasure you have found, gold, and everything not worth a penny there. The drama, how can anything have value within a story? Lower the value of the whole thing, lower the hype, and then the speed is slower. Nothing is intense. And then you will find it easy to put a full stop, apply the brake. Otherwise, you are in the fast lane. You can't apply brakes. Ravan cannot apply brakes. Yeah. Thank you.
Very true. Just a quick question. Could you just expand when you said earlier that nothing in the 3 worlds can harm the soul?
Sure. When we are saying soul is a point, tiny point, fire cannot do anything to him. The terrorist cannot do anything to him. Machine guns cannot do anything to him. Criticism, someone criticizing him, can it hurt him? It cannot hurt him because he's so free. He has not created ego based on anything. If you have created ego, then you take offense very quickly. And everything becomes, ego is paranoid. Bigger the Ravan, more is the paranoia. So the point is carefree, completely. And so we said for him, the supreme reality is the positive universe. But he feels everything else is positive. Things come, go, fires, if they are not harming me, people create fires for entertainment. They want to watch fire. Fire is a nice entertainment in many cultures. So here also, when it is not harming you, all three words are good. But it is that point, the soul who knows he is absolutely beyond harm. It is nice circus. He goes through this circus, through the cycle, but carefree and safe.
A good slogan. Nice circus, but carefree. Maybe connected to that one question, are you saying that could you experience pain even while being the invisible player but not really be affected?
Yeah, the pain is a very interesting thing. Right now, you and me, we are experiencing pain. We got pain receptors throughout the body. Every joint has got pain receptors, and they are constantly fired. Some posture, some pressure, some touch. It is all, pain receptors are fired. But we never experience misery. Right now, you don't say, oh, it is intolerable. You don't feel like that. And I don't feel there is a misery. Some players, they go and they intervene, they catch a ball at a fast speed, and they put their leg there. So there's definitely going to be pain when ball hits you with the speed. But they choose to do this, and they don't complain because it is not a misery. Even though there is pain, there is no misery experience. Same thing happens in soul conscious state. You get the information, what is happening, but there is no misery experienced. But when there are intense attachments to the body, and these attachments are created as we indulge through the senses, and that is when the body gets trapped, or the soul gets trapped in this body. Then you get sometimes people, they say body is just body, nothing, no illness at all. They say there's pain. This body, leg hurts, my back hurts, whole body gives me pain. There is no problem because there is super sensitivity. And the super sensitivity is there because of the past indulgence. Ravan is big, or Ravan's head is big.
One is asking, what is the proof of that world of safety? We know we've come from there, but why is there not a clear memory? Maybe yes, there would be slight impression in meditation.
Clear memory, yeah, sure. And maybe I'll use the board again. And come to our famous sketch. In this world, everyone knows this world is temporary. When we are in this body conscious state, as was said, for ego, this is the world. He doesn't see it as a story. This is his life and world, and here are his treasures, and here are his relations. This is the way he leads the life. He knows death is guaranteed. Everyone is living. No one is going to stay there forever. He knows it. But each and everyone spends their whole life not to die. No one wants to die here. And this I can say, from experience with the people, they may sometimes say, oh, I want to die. But when actually death comes, no one wants to die. That everyone spending so much time, they may be busy working so that they can live a bit longer. That is their absolute message. In other words, and that they want to be eternal. Everyone wants to experience immortality. They want to be eternal. Now, where does this desire for immortality come from? If they see here, obviously, everyone is mortal, but they all are striving for immortality. They all are looking for certain experiences, and they want to experience peace, they want to experience happiness, they want to experience love. As we said before, if there is a workshop arranged on getting depressed, quick depression, seven sessions. Not many will enroll for that course, because deep inside, they all know they want to experience love, they want to experience contentment, they want to experience happiness. Some people might say these are just chemicals. Happiness is one set of chemicals, depression is another chemicals. Where is the problem? But the deep inside, the person says he doesn't want to go into those feelings. He may even get angry or sometimes, but he doesn't want to stay in those feelings. He wants to come out. He wants peace. Now, if someone is having this deep instinct for something, there is always a reason. You will never say, I want a mango, if you have never experienced a mango before. You will not go for certain kind of experience if you have never experienced it before. Here, we all are looking for this immortality, peace, happiness, love, contentment, various our deep instincts and our tendencies are. Where are they coming from? We experienced it at some point somewhere. And this knowledge says we did experience it. They have not just come from the sky. It's a universal pattern for souls in every culture, animals, everyone. They all got the same instinct. And it all has its origin here in our home. That is enough. The question why we don't remember, it is there. We are remembering it. That itself tells us. Just that we are trying to experience it in the story. That is our confusion. Deep instinct is there, but we are looking for it in the story. As was said before, when we are upside down, we are seeing something else. When we are right way up, then we find, oh, I'm already immortal and that there's perfect universe. It is a positive universe. And then you are seeing the story as story. So you are enjoying both worlds then. Even we are upside down, we can't enjoy either worlds.
Thank you. Very
Maybe extend too much expansion in the long answer.
Yes, but very helpful to see that in the context of the question. So thank you. I know we're over time, and you wanted to share a little bit of meditation. We have a drill. Maybe I don't know if you have a very quick.
Let us go to the drill.
Okay, just a quick question. Then maybe the invisible player. Are they aware of the unfortunate ones in this region? That was the way the question was worded. Don't know if you have a quick answer for that.
Invisible players, they know that everyone is fortunate. In the drama, someone is acting as a joker, someone is acting as a king, and there is justice in the drama also. As one who is acting as a king, he is not king forever. Everything gets balanced out. So drama at that level, there is also It is a drama, but still there is a fairness within it, and everyone is a eternal prince loved by God, and he is himself worthy to be loved by all. That is a very fortunate thing.
Mm. Mm. Yeah, thank you. So I'll take this opportunity to thank everyone, and also especially to translators and co-hosts and everyone for your presence and just this atmosphere that gets created. And of course, thanks to Brother Prashant. And just to say that the retreat coming up is in 3 weeks at a different time, but if you register, you will get the recording, or you can check out the Vigyan channel. And we will send the recordings by email, the links, and this registration link for the next retreat, Science and Spirituality. And those who can stay will finish with a few minutes of a drill from Bapdada. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
पहले सभी ड्रिल करो, माइंड ड्रिल। कर्मेंद्रियों की ड्रिल नहीं, मन की ड्रिल करो। रेडी? देखो, सबसे श्रेष्ठ से श्रेष्ठ चित्र होता है ताज, तख्त, तिलकधारी का। तो अपना चित्र सामने लाओ और सब संकल्प किनारे कर। देखो, Ciao.